Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Our top stories. The PDP in Delta State has lost more heavyweight members following the defection of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Motimi Oguo, and 21 other members to the APC. Now, the mass defection took place during the plenary today. Announcing the development, the Speaker revealed that he'd received 22 letters, including his own, formally notifying the House of the lawmaker's decision to switch allegiance from the PDP to the APC. According to him, the lawmakers cite the instability in the PDP's national leadership and the ongoing factional crisis within the PDP's South-South zonal executive as key reasons for their defection. The defection follows the recent move by Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori and former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, who also left the PDP for the APC, and marks a significant alignment to Delta State's political landscape. Mr. Ogowa assured constituents that the decision was made in the best interest of the state's progress, emphasizing that the move will foster greater collaboration between the state and federal governments, potentially leading to increased federal support and funding for infrastructure and development projects in Delta State. The United Nations Development Programme and the Director General of the Northwest Governors Forum have paid a courtesy visit to Zamfara State Governor Dr. Dauda Lawal in a move aimed at developing a framework for collaboration and promoting peace and stability across the Northwestern region. The high-level visit aligns with resolutions reached during the Northwest Governors Forum Peace Summit held in Katsina State in June 2024, where leaders across the region agreed to partner with development agencies to tackle shared security and socio-economic challenges.
The Northwest region has been plagued with several developmental challenges, such as banditry, out-of-school children, youth unemployment, poverty, amongst others. This visit to Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, by the leadership of the UNDP and Director General of the Northwest Governors Forum, is part of an ongoing effort to implement resolutions reached at last year's Northwest Regional Summit to establish a peace and development forum that will serve as a unifying platform to address the challenges confronting the Northwest region.
Primarily, this framework we're trying to develop with the key state actors and the community is meant to be a strategic blueprint that will guide conflict prevention, peace-building efforts, and sustainable development across the Northwest region.
Also speaking during the visit, UNDP team lead Kadaria Ahmed highlights the importance of regional cooperation in achieving long-term stability. She believes the collaboration will boost economic prosperity, social development, and security across the Northwest.
What we believe is that securing the Northwest, ushering peace, development, and prosperity requires trust and partnerships among stakeholders, and also buy-in and learning from every other person's experience. It is because of this that we believe we needed to start with the stakeholder engagement across all 7 states in the Northwest.
In his response, Governor Dauda Lawal describes Zamfara as the epicenter of insecurity in the region, emphasizing that solving the state's security problems will significantly ease the situation in the entire region.
If we're able to get it right in Zamfara, honestly, 75% of the challenges will be over. So this meeting is critical. It is very important, and we need to give them all the support that they may require in order for them to succeed. Because if they succeed, then we all succeed.
The meeting concluded with a renewed commitment from all parties to sustain the momentum and ensure that the proposed peace and development framework translates into tangible benefit for the people of the Northwest.
Meanwhile, in its continued effort to tackle insecurity and promote development, the Zamfara state government is intensifying collaboration with traditional institutions. At a symposium organized by the Kaura Namoda Emirate Council, key stakeholders called for greater involvement of traditional rulers in addressing security and community challenges.
Education and development.
Traditional rulers have long been revered as custodians of peace, promoters of culture, and vital pillars in grassroots governance. In Zamfara State, their role is more crucial as the government seeks lasting solutions to insecurity and underdevelopment. At a one-day symposium organized by the Kaura Namoda Emirate Council to mark the 5th year anniversary of their monarch, stakeholders gathered from various sectors to brainstorm on strengthening the role of traditional rulers in peace building, education, and healthcare delivery.
The role of traditional rulers in healthcare delivery, which I'm glad that the Primary Healthcare Executive Secretary, Dr. Hussein Yakubu, was able to focus more on vaccine and the sources of immunization that we are carrying out, and the role of traditional rulers in education and development. Let me say Magaji. He has already, in details, the role the traditional rulers, how important the traditional ruler can play a very key role to bring development in their community.
Representing Governor Dauda Lawal, the Zamfara State Head of Service, Yakubu Haidara, emphasizes that the welfare of traditional rulers is a priority for the administration.
The administration of Dauda Lawal has given due prominence and importance to these traditional institutions. That is why advice and sermons from them are received with keen interest and importance. That is why he's giving due prominence to their welfare. At the moment, ongoing renovations are on for the regulation of our Royal Highness's palaces. This project is currently going on in Kaura Namoda, Sade, Anka, and many others, too numerous to mention.
Other experts and leaders stress the importance of trust, integrity, and proactive engagement at all levels of governance.
When a crisis, or particularly the challenges I have already explained in Hausa, persist for quite a long time, it will create certain group that will benefit from war economy, where people, the chain of beneficiaries will be as many people as possible, which will be benefiting from the proceeds, directly or indirectly, of this crime or the security challenge we are facing.
With this development, I want to assure His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kaura Namoda, and the Emirate Council our total support and cooperation for the unity and the progress of our people of Kaura Namoda and Zamfara State at large.
Participants at the symposium agree that overcoming Nigeria's security challenges require collective efforts, with traditional rulers playing a central role in mobilizing grassroots support.
Elsewhere, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has emphasized the critical role of youth in community security management and national stability. The Defense Chief, who made the assertion at the first Kaduna State Students Development Summit, assures of the commitment of the Nigerian military to support youth-led peace-building initiatives and deepen civil-military relations.
The Kaduna Youth Summit, organized by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Ubasani on Student Matters, is seen as a bold move to examine the role of the youth in community security matters. The high-impact event, held in collaboration with the Office of the Chief of Defense Staff, brings together key stakeholders across the military, academia, civil and traditional institutions to chart a new course towards empowering the youth in combating insecurity and building sustainable peace in Kaduna State.
We recognize the vulnerabilities of our students, or the vulnerabilities our students face, often becoming inadvertently entangled in security predicaments that jeopardize their well-being and stability. However, we acknowledge the immense potential that lies within our students. As agents of positive change, they can be empowered to contribute to security transformation in our state.
no matter what knowledge you acquire, without using discipline to guide your day-to-day activities, that knowledge is not going to be useful. So, discipline, patience, endurance, these are the watchword for you that will guide you for you to succeed in life.
With the youth constituting a larger percentage of the country's population, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Chris Musa, represented by the Chief of Defense Civil-Military Relations, Rear Admiral Olusonya Bankole, emphasizes their critical role in community security and national stability.
Students are not a homogeneous group defined only by academic pursuits. They represent intellectual ferment and critical thinking, social engagement and activism, innovation and digital fluency, leadership and advocacy potential. This identity places them at the intersection of thought leadership and grassroots rehabilitation. With access to information, platforms of influence, and energy for engagement, students are uniquely positioned to advocate for peaceful coexistence, raise awareness on security threats, propose and implement solutions to localized challenges.
The Kaduna State Students Development Summit marks a renewed commitment by the administration of Governor Ubasani to youth-focused policies and the government's determination to prioritize security, education, and community development.
The Kebbi State government has called on members of Senior Course 47 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, to apply the insights gained from their interactions with the people of Kebbi to help improve the nation's security. Deputy Governor of the Kebbi State, Senator Omar Tafida, made the appeal while receiving the officers during a courtesy visit to his office in Berlin, Kebbi. He noted that the state government has made significant investments in supporting security agencies, including the provision of utility vehicles and financial assistance. The leader of the delegation said their visit to Kebbi was aimed at learning from the state's community-based security and intelligence framework to better equip security agencies in addressing the country's challenges.
We are happy to receive the, the lecturers, instructors, students, and all other, gentlemen that came from Armed Forces Command Staff College Judge. You are most welcome. Appreciate you, and like I said in my earlier brief, that we're going to, we'll give all the maximum support and cooperation, during this study tour to ensure that, it's very successful.
We're on a geostrategic tour with a theme to see how local or grassroots intelligence is being harnessed to enhance internal security. As you are aware, security is our business professionally, while it is everybody's business collectively. And so we've come to see the Kebbi model. When we see the effectiveness of that, it will probably serve as a model that we could recommend for other parts of the country, to implement. In our midst, we also have officers from allied countries. We actually have an officer from Ghana Armed Forces and another one from the Botswana Defense Forces. And we are Africa together. So you can imagine that if something works in Nigeria, the likelihood of it working in some other African countries, because we share cultures alike, traditions, it might be able to also solve that kind of problem for them.
Back, a delegation from the Ghanaian government has visited Kebbi State on a study tour aimed at understanding the state's success in rice farming and production. The delegation, led by Ghana's Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, paid a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Umar Abubakar Tafida, with the purpose of exploring how Kebbi State emerged as the leading rice producer in Nigeria.
Kebbi State's reported strides in revolutionizing rice farming may have drawn the attention of neighbors on the African continent, with the Ghanaian government's reported quest for insights into the strategies behind its success story. During a working visit to Kebbi State, the Ghanaian Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, explains that his country has been grappling with the challenges of rice importation, which has negatively impacted the country's economy. He says the delegation is in Kebbi to learn from the state's agricultural policies and practices that have transformed its rice production sector.
One of the challenges confronting us as a nation today has to do with a huge food import bill. Regardless of the fact that we have the land in abundance, we have water, we have cheap labor, we still import a lot of food to supplement local production. And it is the stronger desire of His Excellency the President to reverse the story, to change the status quo, and ensure that Ghana is able to attain food sufficiency. Going through the list, we realize that we import a lot of rice into Ghana.
Delighted with this recognition, the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, Mr. Umar Tafida, attributes the state's achievements to the availability of arable land and water resources, as well as strong government interventions. He assures the Ghanaian delegation of Kebbi State's support in its quest.
We're eager to explore more opportunities for collaboration, including capacity building and trade between our two countries. In the area of culture and tourism, Ghana and Nigeria, by extension Kebbi State, share close cultural affinity since the early years of the 1960s during our independence time. We are delighted to host the foremost Argungu International Fishing Festival, which a number of times, Ghanaian head of states and a number of people from Ghana used to come and participate and also visit during the festival.
The Ghanaian agriculture team says it is seeking to reduce its huge import bill from rice by leveraging on a strong partnership with Kebbi State to achieve food sufficiency.
Meanwhile, to agriculture in Katsina State, Governor Diko Rada of Katsina has encouraged farmers in the state to adopt mechanized farming patterns to improve their productivity and efficiency. The governor stated this when he flagged off sales and distribution of 20,000 metric tons of fertilizer to farmers for the 2025 wet season farming at Katsina local government area.
Just 3 days after President Tinubu's visit to commission key infrastructure, Katsina State Governor Diko Rada is in Katsina local government areas today to launch the sale and distribution of 20,000 metric tons of fertilizer for the 2025 wet season.
Agriculture remains the backbone of our economy and a vital pillar of food security, employment, and rural development. The wet season farming marks a crucial period in our farming calendar. This distribution will ensure timely access to essential input like fertilizer is one of the most important steps we can take to empower our farmers.
Governor Rada assures farmers that measures are in place to ensure only genuine beneficiaries receive this high-quality fertilizer at a subsidized rate of 20,000 naira. He also urges them to embrace mechanized farming and technology to boost their yields and efficiency.
Increased use of fertilizer combined with adoption of mechanized farming practice resulted in significant increase in crop yield. This, in return, improved food security for our nation, boosted the income of our farmers, and contributed to the overall growth of our state economy. As we launch the fertilizer distribution today for the year 2025 wet season farming, I'm confident that our farmers will continue to benefit from our support. This program is designed to provide our farmers with access to high-quality fertilizer at a very subsidized rate of 20,000 per bag, so as to enable them to improve their crop yield and their income.
The state Algon chairman, Rabu Tambaya, lauded the governor's efforts in tackling critical issues facing Katsina, including security, agriculture, health, education, and the economy.
Your Excellency, we may all recall that your giant strides must be appreciated by all the people of Katsina State across board. You have made concerted efforts in addressing security challenges in our state by revitalizing agriculture, which will definitely provide income to majority of our farmers and other people.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
The projection here is that the distribution of fertilizers will help in pushing down food prices.
To reinforce confidence in the judiciary, the Kano State Judicial Service Commission has put together a 3-day training for its over 100 newly employed staff members. The training is aimed at exposing the trainees to judicial ethics and upholding the core values of the commission in the state. Channels correspondent Nanchine Vincent reports.
The Kano State Judicial Service Commission is exposing its new members of staff to priority areas of judicial ethics, misconduct and disciplinary procedures, anti-corruption strategies and schedule of duties on assumption of duty. Over 100 trainees, mostly young men and women, are being acquainted with the Code of Conduct of the Judicial Commission. The Chief Judge of Kano State, Justice DJ Aboke, urges the new employees to take the training seriously as the judiciary remains the last hope of those who cannot defend themselves.
To avoid incidences of corruption, incidences of ineptitude, incidences of indiscipline, or treating people, the public generally, with disdain or without taking into consideration all their needs. The judiciary, as we all know, is the last hope of the common man. Therefore, we want to maintain that by all means to ensure that every time any person comes for any form of adjudication or assistance from the judiciary, that we're able to discharge our responsibilities efficiently and effectively.
The employees who have begun the training look forward to putting their new knowledge at work.
This orientation, it will guide a lot of us in carrying out our exercises, day-to-day activities in the law courts. Most people don't even know what they are up to. But with this orientation, I feel it will guide a lot of us to enshrine some laws into our hearts, guidelines on what to follow, what to do and not to do.
But with this orientation, we are going to be able to conduct ourselves properly in terms of discharging our own duties and responsibilities as a judiciary staff.
The Chief Judge noted that this is the first time a training is being conducted for staff, as learning is a professional responsibility and can strengthen the integrity of the judiciary. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchine Vincent, Channels Television News.
And that's it on Newsroom Series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.